Today we are making a video on Ubuntu. Ubuntu added two more flavors to their list. One is Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix and the other is Ubuntu. I made a video already on Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix today and even 2 days back. So if you want, go check that out. And here is our Ubuntu or Ubuntu flavor of Ubuntu, and the version is Ubuntu 23.04. It's a beta version. So this is the boot menu. This is to boot in a live mode. This is on a safe graphics and for manufacturers and test memory. Let's quickly boot in a live mode by clicking enter. It's going to take a minute, almost a maximum of minute. So let's wait. I'm going to tell the exact time of how much time it took to boot up till the desktop layout. Here is our Ubuntu logo. The logo was launched or showed up in a few seconds after choosing the live mode. It took almost like 15 seconds maximum. So let's see how much time it takes to the desktop layout. It took almost a minute and 30 seconds. Here is our welcome screen. First you need to choose your language. They have almost covered every language here, and you have two options to boot in. Try Ubuntu in a live mode, or you can directly install it from here. It's always better to go on a live mode and first test it. If you have bugs, don't install it. If you don't have bugs, you can go with it. I'm running it on a virtual machine VMware with 40 GB of hard disk, 4 GB of RAM and the two processors. It's still in a beta version. I'm going to say it's better to use it on a virtual machine because they will be having some bugs. Even after the stable release, just wait for 15 days like that, because sometimes it will be having some bugs. So they are going to be releasing point updates like 23.04.1 like that. So let's try Ubuntu in a live mode. It's again going to take like 20 seconds maximum. Here is our desktop layout. It almost took like 30 seconds. Let's first change the display resolution. Let's click on display settings. My monitor is 1920 into 1080. Let's see. Here is my display resolution with a 16:9 ratio. Click on apply. Here is my settings. If you can't see the text or a font, you can go with the scaling. 200% is good for the 1920 into 1080. It's a good option or a good setting. Let's check the about first, and let's go to a system monitor after this. Here is the device name or the Linux distro name. It's a flavor of Ubuntu, so it's going to show Ubuntu Lunar Lobster, and it's in a development. So if you are a person who want to test, you can test it. If you are a normal user, it's better stay out of it. A GNOME version will be available soon after running some terminals or commands. A kernel version is Linux 6.2.0, latest version. So let's launch the system monitor here. It should be like here, utilities, under utilities. These are all the processes running. I'm going to show the system monitor again at the end of the video because you need to know how much resources are consumed before and after the opening some apps. Let's change the color and you can see properly here now. RAM will be like 1.5 GB or 4 GB. It almost 1.5 GB without any opening of apps. CPU is low, it's good. CPU is normal, but the RAM is almost 1.5 GB without any apps opened, just a setting app. Cache is 3.1 GB. On the CPU side it is good, but on the RAM side it's heavy or a mid-range I should say. I think it's not good for a low-end PC because it's almost 1.5 GB. A low-end PC will be like 2 GB of RAM and a Pentium processor, and I'm using a 12th gen i5. It's almost 1.6 GB. As you can see, it changed right now without any opening of apps. Let's check the system monitor version, which is 44.0. Let's type in few commands, and command or a terminal will be in the utilities. Here is our terminal. Let's check the version before. GNOME 44 version 3.47.92 or 92. Let's type in few commands. inxi. It's not installed. Let's try to install it. Click on paste. It's asking us to click on Y or type Y. In order to install it, just type Y. If you don't want, you can go with N, which is no. It's going to take a few seconds, and here it is. Almost took like 7 seconds, I guess. Let's type in inxi now. Again, let's type in inxi -b, and let's type in inxi G. Let's also type in cat /etc issue. Let's go through all this thing now. Let's try to change the background color if it's available. General theme variant dark. Let's go with light, and on the colors let's go with gnome light. You can see it properly now. A host is Ubuntu. Edubuntu is like an educational Ubuntu or education Ubuntu, and the kernel version is 6.2.0-18, a latest version, and it is a 64-bit. 32-bit is not available. A desktop environment is GNOME version 44.0, which is latest version, released few days ago, and the distro is Ubuntu 23.04 Lunar Lobster. Because it's a flavor of Ubuntu, it's going to show the Ubuntu 23.04, and I'm running on a VMware, so it's going to show us as a VMware. BIOS Phoenix version is 6.0, and its speed of the RAM. And here is my processor, and XOR version is 1.21.1.7 with Wayland version 22.1.8. My display resolution or a monitor's resolution, you can say 1920x1080 with 60 Hz. OpenGL version is 4.1. Mesa is 23.0.1. I think I covered everything, I guess. And the hard disk is 40 GB. Memory is 3.8 GB, but using is 1.44 GB, which is almost 38%. And inxi version is 3.3.25. I think I covered everything. Let's type in htop. Htop is not installed, so you can install it by typing sudo apt install, or you can just copy this sudo apt install htop and click on enter. If you have a password, you can type it. If you don't have a password, you can just leave it. It's installed. Let's type in htop again. Here we can clearly see the memory is around 900 MB of 4 GB and uptime is 11 minutes and task is 110. I showed the version already. Let's close the terminal and let me show you how to download the Edubuntu. Let's see where is the browser. Utilities, we don't have on the utility side. It will be called like something like internet, I guess. Let's find. Let's type in browser. We have a Firefox web browser installed or pre-installed in it. Firefox takes a few seconds to load up, almost like 10 seconds maximum. Here we have our web browser. Our version will be 111 and we already have a bug. Version is 111. Let's type in Ubuntu 23.04. Here is our link. You can directly type in this link or just type in the search term as I searched there. This is a beta version. You have a 64-bit AMD 64 and the file size of this thing is huge, 5.2 GB. You don't get ARM version here, you just get a AMD for PCs. Just click on it. It's almost 5.2 GB. If you want to test it, you can test it. It's a beta version. Again, I'm going to inform or give a warning. It's a beta version. If you are a normal user, don't go to download or install this anything. And if you are a person who want to test latest versions of the Linux distros, you can just download and test it on a VMware, no problem. Again, be careful. If you are a normal user, better to stay out of it. Even after releasing a stable release, just wait for a few days, like 10 to 15 days. If you don't have if they don't release a point release, that means they're good with it. It's a good ISO file of the Linux distro. It's better go download after 15 days. If they release a point release like 23.04.1, then it's better to download that version because they will be having some bugs, fixes there. So it's better to wait. And I'll show the download. So let's close this thing and let me show you the format of installation. Just click on it, double click or just right click and open. It's going to take a few seconds. Almost this is the sound of Edubuntu. It took like 10 seconds. First you will have interface of choosing the language. Here are all the languages. I think they covered every language here. I am going with English. You can go with any language if you want. Click on continue and we have a keyboard layout here. It automatically chooses English because I chose English. You can change it to whatever you want. I'm going to choose English here. This is the layout. Click on continue and here is the installation, how you want to install. You want a normal installation or a minimal. Minimal means you will be included with just web browser and basic utilities, and normal installation contains everything like games, media players, all these apps here comes in the normal installation. And the other options, if you want to get an update, you can click or check this button. If you want to install the third-party software formats and additional media formats, you can check this. If you want to do it later, so you can go uncheck this. In my opinion, it's better to check right now, because you don't want to waste your time afterwards. Only if you want to on your own, if you want to do it on your own, you can just uncheck it. I'm just clicking on checking that and click on continue. Preparing Ubuntu drivers, it's going to take almost 1 minute, maximum 1 minute, so let's wait. It took almost 35 seconds, and here is the installation type, or a partitions. If you want to do a single boot, you can erase disk and install Ubuntu. It's going to erase everything or delete everything, like files, media, all these things in your hard disk or SSD. And you need to be very careful while choosing this option, and you need to have knowledge or an idea of what you're doing here, because it's going to erase everything. So here is a warning, this will delete all your programs, documents, all these things. Be careful and read everything while you do anything. So this is the option, and this is the something else. If you want to dual boot, resize your partitions, this is almost like a pro user things, so be careful. You don't need to be even a pro, because if you understand this thing, it's a normal thing. So if you want additional features or advanced features, you can go with encrypting all these things. So this is the installation step. After clicking on install, it's going to take a few seconds, and it will pop up with a username, password. Put on your username, password. You don't need to put your original name. You can put anything you want, because it's a computer name. No one cares about what you put there. And always remember the password while putting the password, and have a password of a strong password. And it's going to finish the installation. After that installation, click on finish and reboot. That's it. The Edubuntu will be installed on your VMware or a PC, and that's it. This is the formality of installation. Let's quit it. Let's check out some desktop features here on the right side corner, and it's a GNOME 44 version, so it will be having a GNOME. This is its calendar. Let's check the desktop wallpapers. Let's see how many wallpapers are pre-installed or comes with Edubuntu. Everything is books and education based, but we have a Ubuntu wallpapers, which is 23.04 wallpapers, like 4 or 3 wallpapers, and other things are just of studies. You can choose anything you want. I'm just going to choose the normal Ubuntu wallpaper, and if you can change the color of these settings. I'm going with a blue color, and this is the few settings of GNOME 44. I'm just going to run through fast. Date and time, defaults, user, accessibility. This is a new settings or a new option. You can go here and check anything you want. You can choose anything you want here. Typing, hearing, after hearing we have seeing. You can change anything you want. Region and language, color, removable disk, printers. Nothing changed, but few options are changed here. And here is the mouse pointer with an animation. This is a new setting or a new feature in GNOME 44. I think you already saw it. Here is our display, which is same. Again, these are all the same. On the sound, you have same thing. On the sharing, online accounts, privacy, you will be having a device manager something option here, but I don't have right now. And on the Here you will be having background apps running. You will see an option of background apps here, and these are all the apps. These are all the same things. On the multitasking we have the same, search we have same, notification same from GNOME 44 or GNOME 33, similar to GNOME 33. And this is a dock setting, you can change it here. I think that's it of the desktop feature. Let's see what are all apps comes or pre-installed, which will come with Edubuntu. On the art side you have all these apps, clock, contacts, these are common. Edubuntu info and admin, these are all the apps. Endeavor, extension. On the games you have 3 games: GBrainy, Gcompress, Gparted, Headstop, LibreOffice. On the language and learning you have few apps of languages. These are all common apps. Marble. On the mathematics you have 5 softwares or apps, you can call it. On the science you have 7. Settings, social science, and software and updates, software updater, startup applications. On the utilities you have all the common things, and technology you have 6 apps or 6 softwares, and everything's same. Let's type in here is our app store. Let's open the Ubuntu software. I think I covered everything. Let's check the version of the apps in a fast way. Instead of launching all the apps, this is going to take a few seconds, so let's wait. It took almost 40 seconds. Here is our updates, just a few updates installed. These are all the apps pre-installed. Let's check the version of main apps. We don't need all the education apps. Let's check the calculator, which should be 44, as you can see on the bottom. Still you need to know calendar 44. Almost the version is 44, so every app is GNOME 44, which is common sense. Let's check the version of GIMP 2.10.34. I'm just showing this because a few people need to know what are the versions of the apps in the latest Linux distro. Inkscape is 1.2.2. Few people need to know this because of them I need to show the version of the softwares here of the LibreOffice 7.5.2 RC1 release candidate 1. You don't need to know about maps because GNOME 44 will be. I think everything is completed. I think we covered everything. Let's see and open some apps here. Snap Store. If you want to know this, you can know here. Let's close this thing and let's check the system monitor. Let's go to utilities and check the system monitor. After running all these apps, memory is of 2.1 GB. Before it was like 1.5 GB, I guess. If you have doubt, you can compare it side by side in the beginning of the video and end of the video. You will have an idea of how much resources are consumed. Cache is 2.7 GB. I think it's almost like 400-500 MB of extra right now, and the CPUs are running normally. This is my internet, no need to know about the internet. Here are the processes running. These are all the processes running. If you want to know the RAM usage, you just go to my beginning of the video and check the end of the video. You will have an idea of how much resources are consumed. And I think that's it. Let me show you my channel. This part is only for the people who didn't subscribe or who don't want to subscribe. If you are already subscribed, no need to watch this step. People who want to visit my channel every day without subscribing, you can just type in youtube.com//925 Linux. No need to feel bad of not subscribed or not subscribing my channel. I am not going to ask, it's up to you. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you don't want, no problem. I'm okay with it. If you are here only for the Linux videos, just go to playlist and you will be having a Linux playlist here. Go under Linux playlist, view full playlist, click on view full playlist, and I made almost like 1528 videos on various Linux distros. I almost covered every Linux distro, almost 70 to 80% of Linux distros I covered. So if you want to watch it, just shuffle or play all. Let's close this thing. And I mentioned that I'll post 2 videos daily, as you can see here, and these are the timings. You come to my channel at this timing, you will be having 2 videos posted daily. I don't miss any day. So that's it. If you want to search a specific term or a specific Linux distro, you can type in here, just like example. I'm going to give you an example like MX Linux. You will be having videos of MX Linux here, and with the version you will be having videos. I made every point release every videos on Linux distros, so every latest version will be available here, because I'll make every Linux distro videos daily soon after they are released. I think that's it. Let's end this video right here. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. Let me power off. I think we will be getting a sound of power off. Let's wait and see. Do we get a sound of while power offing? There is no sound right now. Okay, let's end it.